In this age where Instagram rules, it's very rare that you'll find someone who doesn't like photos. My guy Jay RICO is that guy.
What's going on, bro?
Good to have you here, man. You know what? I was looking through your Insta earlier and we're talking like 4 posts.
Yeah, I don't like them, bro.
Do you deliberately, do you put up stuff and archive it, or do you literally keep it like bare minimum?
No, archive. You know
thing.
what? I just dropped a single and that, so you know what I mean, to help the promotion.
Of course.
Had to archive them. They'll come out soon, though.
Exactly. Now, also as an artist, you need to be committed. You need to give up on that sleep when you're not feeling 100%. You've still got to go studio, still got to come radio. So thank you very much for coming in, because I know you're not feeling 100%.
No, thank you for having me, bro.
You're welcome. Did you wake up feeling like this, or is this a weekend thing?
No, you see me, I know when I'm going to be ill.
You can sense it.
Yeah, I said to my friend 2 days before, I said to him, I was like, bro, I'm going to be ill. I know when I'm going to be, you know what I mean? And then it just gets worse every day. And today's the peak. From today, I should be getting better. It should, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I feel bad right now.
No. Today I'm at the peak, but it
okay, it's all good from now on then. You wake up tomorrow, start to feel a bit better. Yeah, man. Wicked. It's all good, man. First time we've connected, so thank you for coming in. I want to start with just a little bit of kind of your backstory, just so people, if they're listening for the first time, can get to know. So, Crawley.
Yeah.
Is that always been home?
That's always been home.
So, I may be wrong here, but you probably have dealt with people like Mr. Geo.
Yeah.
Dwayne, Dukesman.
No.
There's that's the little kind of Crawley DJs and people. Double N is there, and a few others as well.
Yeah, so. Mr. Gio's hard.
Yeah, exactly. Spencer's a good guy, man. Yes, for you, how are you finding things based outside of the capital, really?
Do you know what? Really, everything goes on in the capital, so it is harder. Being from outside, sometimes it's hard to break in and make the right connections.
And the reason I mentioned those guys a minute ago is that they've always been the guys who've been putting on events and booking artists. I've seen you get bookings down there and stuff like that, and they're trying to do stuff. So is there a sense of stuff is really building and momentum's building there, or is it a case of you've done what you can and you now kind of
definitely, it's definitely happening. There's bare artists coming from Crawley as well, DJs, songwriters as well, like singers, not even just rappers, like everyone,
the full spectrum of
man. So
music.
hopefully people start making some noise and they recognize, because there's a lot of talent in that town.
Exactly. And we said it in one of the previous interviews here on the show that it really doesn't matter where you're from. If you're doing the good work, people notice, people can hear it.
Yeah, but obviously it makes it so much harder when because you see where it is, you see in London, everyone knows each other and they're all kind of friends, or they're mutually connected through some other way. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you're from outside, it's just hard to break that first barrier.
I totally understand, man. I spent a lot of people think I'm from Bournemouth, which I'm not from. Let me just underline that. I went to university in Bournemouth, but people think I'm from Bournemouth. So I understand there are always geographical limitations. Get into pop-up shops, get into shows, get into radio. You've got to put in the grind, man. So I respect you coming here. It's not just round the corner, bro.
Yeah, no. It was all right. It took us how long? 2 hours? 2 hours.
Light work.
So it was alright.
Once it's finished, get back in the car, get the Lucozade.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Get some food, we'll be alright, man.
My feet up. Do you know what? No, I had some food, yeah. Do you know what happened on the way up here? I had loads of my friends are going vegan and that. So obviously I thought, you know what, let me try some vegan food. So I got some for the first time ever today and I was excited. I had it sitting there for like an hour. I was gonna eat it on the journey up. Obviously my friend was driving. Got a little bit distracted, as you do in the car. Slammed on the brakes.
So
I had the food down there, but I had my shoes off anyway. So he slammed on the brakes, and then like a minute later, I put my foot down and I looked down and I've just put it in a bunch of peas, rice, cauliflower.
It's not your day, bro, is
tomatoes. I was proper looking forward to it as well.
Do you know what? That is better than I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say you popped it on the dashboard.
No, and it went on.
And then there was the emergency. That would have been just game over. Just covered in food. Not feeling good.
That would have been worse.
Now, musically, what are your earliest kind of memories of music growing up?
When I started to rap?
Anything, man. I just want to know a little bit more about what's kind of shaped you musically.
I think I started rapping when I was like
13ish?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, when I was about 13, I must have put out my first couple of songs, as you do.
Do you still listen back to them?
No, I can't.
Have you still got them, or have you binned them?
No, they're gone.
Oh, no, man. You want to hear that journey.
No, I can't do it. But yeah, probably about 13 when I started rapping. And then obviously, I haven't really stopped. I haven't always been consistent putting out work, but I've never stopped working.
But you started at such a young age as well, and especially, how old are you now?
22.
Exactly. So if we go back that amount of years to where the industry was and how you could, like we've just said,
Yeah.
connect with people, get your music out there, reach out to DJs and so on. They're
Definitely.
very, very different.
Yeah, obviously back then I didn't have a clue what I was doing as well. I just went to the studio, just put a song and just put it on YouTube. Like I had no idea. I just wanted to make music, do you know what I mean? Now, obviously you've got Instagram and all this is popping. Back then I think it was only Facebook. That, like, I used to promote my music on Facebook, get my friends to share it on Facebook, you know what I mean?
Sick.
But yeah, man.
You got to do it, man. Sorry, I come off mic. You've got to do it, man. And the thing is, though, is I know we can look back now and go, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. And likewise, when I first started DJing, terrible.
Is it?
First club set,
you make some
absolutely
mistakes?
abysmal. It was just awful. I can't even lie. I was rubbish. Now I'm a bad man. But the thing is that you got to.
There you go. You live and you learn. You live and you learn, innit?
You got to start, and then
Yeah.
sometimes like that's part of the journey. It gives
No,
you that
trust me.
like I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna succeed at this now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I went hide that. My first DJ sets were awful, bro.
Really? Yeah, I've
not good.
had a couple of. Yeah.
It's all part of what that makes you stronger.
It does. You live and you learn, you know what I mean? And you got to make the mistakes to learn a lesson.
Exactly,
I
man.
suppose.
It's almost a year since Truth EP.
Yeah.
Almost. A
Yeah.
few weeks short of that. Now that's had time to kind of settle and you can look back on it.
Yeah.
Now you can look back on that project and that time. How
Yeah.
was that for you? Did that achieve what you wanted it to? Were you proud of that?
Do you know
Talk to me
what?
about that.
Yeah, I feel with that, obviously, I had just been releasing loads of singles, like my whole life, my whole career, really. So obviously, me and my team, we just decided to put a little body of work together to introduce myself to the industry and to the people listening to my music.
Good idea.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I feel like everyone wants to know someone's story. Do you know what I mean? So I feel
And were you were you hesitant in any way? Because I know we just made a joke about your first tracks you put when you were like a very young guy,
Yeah.
and me DJing when I was like first started or whatever. But a lot of people, they do hide the journey. Some people online, they don't want to be seen to do a tune a year or two ago. They just want to be like, I've come through now and just stepped straight into like this.
Do you know what?
How do you look at that?
I get it because it looks better. I do actually get it. Like if you've been at it for 10 years and you've only just succeeded now, and then someone comes along and drops one tune and they succeed, obviously, like, do you know what I mean? But really, I don't feel like you should fully hide. Yeah, take certain things down and that because, like, of your image, I get as well. But you don't want to hide your whole journey because that's you, innit?
And I think that's what real fans and people who are really into what you do, they want to know that. They want to see the growth and the journey. Do you know what I mean? Plus,
Definitely.
And if you fail, you can always archive it on Instagram and put it up
There
as
you
a
go.
throwback
Do you know
Thursday.
what I mean? Yeah, and then just put it up on Thursdays, Fridays, it's back down.
So your new track or your latest track, PapaBless.
Yes.
Heavy.
Thank you,
It's
bro.
sounding heavy. We're going to play it in a second, but for me, what was interesting is compared to the track we just played from you, sonically it's quite different,
Yeah,
tougher.
yeah.
Is that a direction you're going in, or is that just part of I know that you're quite versatile within what you do. Is that just an element of what you do, or you go in more
bro.
down that way?
Every time I try to record something, I try to make sure that it's different to at least like the last couple tracks I've recorded.
Okay, cool.
So like when we're putting out music, we try to do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we just try to switch it up as much. Like in the summer, I've got another dancehall tune coming out in like 2 months with a very, very big feature.
Sick.
And then I've got another single dropping that's kind of different to PapaBless. It's a bit slower than that. That should be out in about 4 weeks.
Wicked, man.
4 or 5 weeks.
Wicked. Well, let's get into the new one right now. I would love it if you can fight your way through the flute and introduce the tune for me right here at Pyro, please.
It's RICO, and this is my latest single, PapaBless.
Brand new material right here for you at Pyro, RICO. PapaBless. Sounding good, bruv.
Thank you, bro.
And
I
like
appreciate it, man.
And like I said, man, to do different types of music but within where you're at and to make it make sense is tricky. Because if you're not Drake, it's a hard thing to balance. You know what I mean?
It can be hard. It can be hard, and sometimes you almost feel like you're left with no options. You know what I mean? Because
You got to do what you got to do.
You gotta do what you gotta
But
do.
I'm definitely not someone to push you down a certain musical route. But I really like you on tracks like that.
Yeah, you
putting it
know
out
what
there.
a lot of people say. Yeah, no, I get that a lot. I do get that a lot.
I'm just putting it out there right now. Now, this is the first time you've been here on Pyro, and it is the very first time in about just under 20 years of doing any type of radio, lots of different types of radio, that I've ever interviewed someone who has a throat lozenge in their mouth at the same time. This is groundbreaking, bro.
Bro, it's my medicine today, man. Do you want one? They're good.
What flavor? Oh, they're the purple ones.
Yeah, have one.
I'm looking at producer Lena, who was. I think that's a no for. I don't think I'm allowed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know.
Am I allowed?
Oh yeah, you can. You can
I'm
do what you want,
allowed.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
You can pick up that vegan meal and you can do what you want.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Limitations here at Pyro. Nah, it's all love, man. So just before we got into that track, you did mention the momentum, some of the tracks that other bits and pieces you've got coming on the way. So how is your 2020 looking? Because we're still in March. We're still early on, man.
Yeah, no, it's early. To be fair, like 2020 is just gonna be a consistent year for me. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible and just put out good content constantly for the year. At the end of the year, then we'll see when we're at. And
so that's how you approach it. You get to the end of the year, you look back at what you've done.
Yeah, and just see how we can
it.
improve. Yeah, that's kind of what we done last year. Just put a plan together. Obviously, it never ever goes to plan, does it? It never
Welcome
actually
to music.
Does work. Yeah, like it never does work. But we improvise, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, it's important now that you have a good grasp and control over what you're doing as your journey, rather than just sit there waiting for things to happen, because the world doesn't work like that.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's good to get people like yourself here on air, have the conversation to find out more about you. So people listening in could be like, right, that's how he approaches it. Oh, and then Crawley, there are these people doing this, that, other, and they start to become more aware of what you're doing and stuff like that, man. Do you know what I mean? Even though you're really not the active guy on Instagram, you need to give people your social media so they can go. You're more active on Twitter, though.
You know what? No, I don't think I am. You know what?
I thought you were.
I'm quite a private person.
Is that a challenge being in music then?
Yeah, because for me, I don't like certain people. I know there's people out there that wake up and for them it's normal to be like, oh, let me snap my everyday life. Like that's just what, like I've got friends like that.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, it is, but it's not. I don't like. I have to think about it. I have to think, oh, let me snap that. Let me do that. Let me do that. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I've just never been that guy. But yeah. But
it's important to be who you are, man.
It is.
And individuality can really get lost in what people are doing.
Yeah, my manager's always getting on to me though, like, oh, you need to post this, you need to post this, you need to post this. You know what I mean? Because
that's why you have a manager.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah, wicked, man. It's absolutely wicked. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us on Pyro today. I said I still feel bad that we kind of locked you in the studio and got the interview off you, bro.
It's been a
pleasure, but when you're
man.
feeling better as well, we'll definitely get you back in here
man.
with more new music. We'll catch up in greater depth, and of course, we'll spit some bars as well, man.
For real, for sure.